Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get some more people in the chat room. As always, thank you so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. It really means a lot. You guys could be somewhere else. You guys could be on another platform, but you have chosen to come to Search for Who and join me and Brother Fitzgerald. We are very thankful for all of those who are supporting us, who have supported us. Thank you so much for the support. As we continue to grow, on this platform. So once again, thank you so much. Really means a lot. And today's topic is Black businesses are failing to receive coronavirus aid. Now, again, you had several disaster loans that were available from the SBA. Two of them are the EIDL. Another one was the PPP loan, which is the Personal Paycheck Protection Program, I believe. And as we see, these loans were specifically. Somebody said talk louder. Can you hear me, Fitzgerald?
You need to talk louder. I'm having to really concentrate.
Okay, hold on. Let me. That's weird. Hold on one second. Let me just get this. Go ahead, Fitzgerald, as I handle this.
Well, good afternoon or good morning, whatever part of the world you are. Once again, my name is Fitzgerald Stephens, and I certainly appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedule to tune in to listen to what the Dynasty Mayor and myself have to say. Hopefully, you will find something of value that offers, as far as with on an economic platform and how to really take control of your economic future as opposed to leave it in someone else's hands. It is an interesting situation out there right now, but with the job loss, with the economy, with like people don't know really, what's going to happen next as far as the state of their finances, state of how they earn their living. Yet you have other groups of people who are those who tap into home-based businesses and those who already have residual income streams in place. Very little bit of their lives are being disrupted right now because they really did not have to just depend solely on their income, and that's what it's about. We know that a lot of these programs that Dynasty Mayor has alluded to are not fair. We know that small businesses are getting disproportionately left out of the stimulus package. The stimulus package benefits simply because a lot of those funds are just running out of money. I don't think they have really anticipated the demand that they would have at this moment that has far exceeded the need. I believe that for the small business forum, and I'm just going off numbers that I really that I heard Prince Amir said. I think that fund was like $347 billion as far as relief aid supposed to be going to small business. It has been exhausted. With a huge majority of businesses, Black, white, Spanish, Asian, needing help. That just in essence, people are just saying to them, well. Hopefully we're out of this for money for this one, but maybe we'll pass something next time, and maybe you can get on that. But no direct relief is in sight, and businesses cannot survive without clients, without customers, or lines of credits. They just simply can't do that. And so what makes that so incredible? And once again, I can speak on mostly on the country that I'm a citizen of. I was born and raised in the United States. With the small businesses, pretty much are the backbones of our economy. Not really the giants, the Facebook or the General Motors or the Fords and things. Those are the AT&Ts. Those are great contributing companies to the economy. But most is the small businesses that employ a huge majority of Americans within this country, how they make their living. Now, I've worked for small companies. What I want to say, small companies, probably like less than 300 or less employees. the most of throughout my career. I eventually when I was when eventually I did start getting on with the larger companies, and and I did enjoy a lot more benefits, a lot more perks that they had to offer right there. But the majority of companies are small business, and they supply the majority of the jobs. So, and when the small business market is disrupted, especially by something like the coronavirus, the economic ramifications reverberate from the head to the top. It really does, and those are the ones that should get the majority of the aid, in my opinion. But they don't. One of the primary reasons they don't, because they really don't have lobbyist power. Lobbyists, he's a person that's mostly paid by a big, huge conglomerate, where may it be a pharmaceutical or oil giant, or even technology giants. Well, they literally have people who are on their payroll, whose sole job is rub shoulders with the various politicians to get favorable legislation that benefits them at the expense of other people. So they literally go up there on Capitol Hill, and sometimes they make allies with powerful senators. And the way they make allies, they do it through campaign contributions. And so it's nothing for them to contribute huge blocks of sum of money to a candidate. And that candidate needs that money because that allows him to put more campaign dollars into giving him or her more visibility, where they can get reelected. Which, on one thing, I'm really beginning to think about. It's probably all about being reelected with politicians. So sometimes those politicians and those lobbyists, should I say, they're so good at what they do. Often they will write the bill for their benefit. No, Dinas, I didn't know if you was aware of that, man. They would literally be a part of writing the legislation. That's why it's so one.
Is the sound better now? Or still
Yeah, you sound your old self. I mean, I can distinguish what you're saying.
I think it's probably where the mic was positioned. I don't know.
No, that's okay. You're back on point right now. So in the smaller businesses, they simply don't have that financial power, to send someone up on Capitol Hill to represent their interests, like the multinational companies, of the huge companies right there. So it's no surprise to me at all when I hear about the larger business have extracted the majority of that fund, to the fact that it's zero right now. And if they decide to pass another stimulus package, they're going to do that also. They're going to get the majority of that fund too. That's just the way it is. The way not only this nation, but most around the world, the rich rule over the poor. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower servant to the lender. So why are we so passionate? Why are we seeing such a tremendous surge of growth within our Karatbar gold business? Why have over something like close to 515 people personally joined with Dinance, personally agreed to do business with him, as far as with Karatbars? Are they doing it for him on his benefit? Are they doing it because he's a world traveler, a good-looking guy, an accomplished guy? Not at all. They're doing this for their economy of their own home. They realize beyond a shadow of doubt, more than anything and ever, listen, if I don't figure out a way to create a flow of income into my house, if I don't create ways to create income streams flowing to my house, or I don't figure out a way to acquire assets, myself and my family, we are going to be devastated. We already see what now with the huge job losses and the automation also silently taking place, income being stopped. You guys ain't really seen nothing yet. This virus, it's still not contained, but there are other implications as far as with this. The tax bases have been reduced. The tax base that plays for a lot of the social programs, and a lot of your programs that necessarily provide goods and services, that's been reduced because you don't have anything going in. You certainly can't pay it. You don't have anything coming in. You certainly can't pay it out. Number two, we're seeing a lot with the community programs that really help a lot of people, i.e., food banks, shelters that really help the poor and people who are for some reason have got their economic house upset where they can go get foods and clothing and shelters. We see a lot of that is being diminished because why? You know, the people are not giving like a lot they used to because they're holding on to their resources for themselves. And finally, I predict there's going to be a huge drop in property values. I predict foreclosures is going to go again, you know, and I predict we're going to see some like possibly like a lot of the foreclosure thing that we saw back in 2008 when the banking bubble burst, and that was just one industry, the banking, you know, and that which was the financial industry, which affected everything here. And so I feel that's going to happen based on what I see. We know that cash is simply going down in value. You know, you guys hear me talk about this story and how cash is going down in value, how gold is going up in value. You guys hear me talk about this story so much, it's almost like a broken record, but it's so true. You know what? Once again, I just came back from the grocery store, went to go get a few.
You go to Publix every day?
Yeah, you know what's happening pretty much every other day. You know what's happening, man? I'm going down there sometimes because I wind up getting out, you know, and I just get out. I can jog there. It's that close, but you know, and I'll just come up with something. Then, you know, man, I go in there to buy some eggs and walk out with $30-something and stuff later. You know, so you know, I mean, I just keep my food. I like fresh food, and the way I buy my food, you know, I have to have it fresh. I don't like eat a lot of canned products and things like that. I got my reasons for that. But yet again, you go there, you pick up a few items, and yet again, you come out there and like, wow, man, that money that's gone. I didn't think it was going to cost that much, but you know, it just simply takes more of your dollars to purchase the same amount of stuff that you did that you would done last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, definitely 20 years ago. Because you know what? If someone has a printing press down in their basement and they call it the Federal Reserve and they just print these, you know, I mean, you ever wonder how someone could just come up with $2 trillion, $4 trillion? See, they print this out of thin air. You know, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is not money. Money has to be defined as a store of value. Money has to be defined as a store of value. Please pay attention to Michael Delco on YouTube or Facebook. You know, he talks about this. He talks about this, especially in reference with Karatbars, how our business is the perfect thing.
Sorry about that. Hold on.
You know, this.
Go ahead. I actually picked up.
So money has to be defined as a store of value. Other words, for this to be money, for this right here to be money, by that different definition, it must be worth exactly the same amount 100 years from now or more than it is today. It can't be losing value, because how does it store my wealth if it's losing value? Okay, which brings us to another ingenious thing. This is money. Gold stores value. Gold not only stores value, it increases in value. So it's little wonder why people are acquiring gold on about countries are acquiring gold on a massive scale. Why? Because the more gold they have, the more it props this up. We've been hearing a lot about China getting up their gold reserves. That sounds cool till you realize they're going over in Africa to do it, because they don't really have anything. I read a report, a statement, should I say today, how over in Guyana, I believe, China is over there defending their gold. Check this out, their gold with guns. It's never their gold. You know, I mean, that's where most of the world is getting their resources from and getting the gold from it in Africa. Of course, Venezuela has a huge gold mine too, you know, and stuff. So gold, the same amount of gold that God placed on the earth in the beginning of creation, is still here right now. A huge part of it is in the ground, but it still holds value. and that's what you want to do. So I'm a firm believer that no government is more important than the economy of my own home or the economy of your home. And so I'm also a firm believer. I believe in limited government. No, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Don't really care about either party. More so I would be considered, I guess, like a libertarian. I don't believe in big government at all. Don't believe in the free enterprise system. Government should primarily should to provide for defense and roles, but they're not to be intrusive a lot in my life, in my household, and and whatever as it relates to my life. That's up to me as a grown adult to make my decision. They are not to tax me to death on my labor. I don't believe in being taxes or an income tax. I don't believe I should be taxed on my labor. A matter of fact, I don't believe in a lot of taxes. I do believe in there should be a nationwide flat tax. In other words, what I consume, that's what I get taxed off of. Because taxes have to do some things, but to provide for goods and services and roads and defenses and ports and everything. So I won't get too radical, but I certainly don't believe in government is responsibility to take care of me, especially financially. I believe they should have legislation that allows me to properly take care of myself without them being so deep into my pockets that it's almost discouraging for me to work. So we're seeing a shift like we never have seen before, and it came by so fast. It's almost like this is like biblical playtime, as far as like that. This stuff came by so fast, and this global economic system, which was already on the verge of collapsing anyway, due to the massive debt loads that nations have acquired by paying the multinational banks by charging exorbitant interest. Rather, they have their Federal Reserves over there too. Actually, a lot of the printing of money is really controlled by one family dynasty. It's called the Rothschild. You can look them up. So a lot of things that they even set gold prices. If you look them up as far as the history of this name and this family, what they do. Well, when you say someone like like the United States, $23 trillion, like you got to wonder who they owe. You got to wonder who they owe. Private Reserve, the Federal Reserve is, I said it right. The private reserve, that the Federal Reserve is nothing but a consortium of private bankers. They print this out of thin air, and they charge you interest on it. That's why you hear about the Feds released $2 trillion, $4 trillion. Well, where the heck they coming up with this money from? Or we're $23 trillion in debt. Who do we owe? And so that's why a lot of things. That's why you have the history of your income tax. Because back in the turn of the centuries in this country, there's no such thing. You wasn't getting taxed. There was no IRS. You wasn't getting taxed on your labor. And so it's
the IRS. The IRS is like a private. It's not even a government organization. I think it's and I could be wrong, but it's.
They're very much. They're almost like a.
I'm sorry, it's not the IRS. It's the Federal Reserve.
No, they're a private consortium. They actually, those guys got together back around Woodrow Wilson. When he allowed them to come in fruition. When Congress was on vacation, that he allowed them to come in and pass that the Federal Reserve Act. And ever since then, the value of our dollar has eroded our purchasing power. We shortly thereafter, back in the 70s, President William Nixon took us off the gold standard. Now, don't let that statement just fly by you. Well, so it used to be this stuff right here was backed by this stuff right here. So therefore, this was the same thing. And if you want to, it had the same purchasing power. So if you want to put it in modern vernacular, if I have a checkbook, and I don't hardly write them anymore, but I have a checkbook, and I send Dinah Samir, a check for $10,000. That check is just a piece of paper. It's only good for what's backing it.
Right.
It's only good for what's backing it. If I don't have the means, if I don't have the $10,000, I'm not talking about fractional reserving like I got 1/10 of it. I have to have the whole $10,000. If I don't have that, that check is worthless, and then I can go to jail and rightfully so, for writing fraudulent checks. But that check, it still holds value, because it's what's backing it. It's not the check, it's what's backing it. And so this keeps losing losing money and losing purchasing power. This little paper cash, it might as well be in a monopoly board. It keeps losing thing because this is no longer backing it.
Right.
Okay. And because this is no longer backing it now, this is no longer backing it. And what I do, I got these in circulations. So what do? I just print more. If I'm printing more, doesn't it make this less valuable? That's why you see goods and services rising up. It's not necessarily things are getting more expensive. It's just the purchasing power of what is the so-called money is gone down greatly. Back in the 1920s, that 1920, you could have bought a Ford Model T, for $600. $600. Look it up, and then or you could have bought a kilo of gold, for $600. Cash and a kilo of gold were the same amount. Okay, same exact amount. Okay, now fast forward to 2020. Okay, that $600 in paper is probably not worth $35, if that. The $600 in gold, that kilo of gold, is worth close to $50,000 right now. That's why you want to save in gold. And I'm not talking about investing. I'm not saying out putting in the stock market trying to get a turn. I'm talking about, man, you had it buried in a tin can under your bed. It's still appreciating. That's why you want to acquire gold. Now, question: will that kilo of gold go buy that Ford car now? No, it's about worth $50,000. Can you get it?
A Model T?
Okay,
that's a classic, but
I'm talking about the new vernacular cars now. Let's call it a Taurus. Let's call it a Fusion, whatever you want to call it. Would it get it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Will that $600, which not at $600 purchase price now, which probably close to $35 in purchase price, would that get you a new car?
No.
It'd probably get you this.
Let me see.
My Curious George card I keep on my desk, little antique thing.
I know what it gets you for sure. It gets you a 1982 box Chevy without a transmission.
Okay, without pretty much anything like that. That's why, because simply by holding on that cash, my value has dropped. My assets, my net worth has dropped. If that's all I'm doing is holding on to it. That's why it's very, very foolish to be the majority of your wealth to be in paper, because it's going down in value. The wealthy, they don't put their stuff in paper. They put the most of their stuff in assets, golds, diamonds. It used to be oil before oil stocks really been taking a pound into stuff. Precious real estate. Things that are going to appreciate in value. I used to wonder, why the heck somebody going to pay something like $40 million for a painting?
Right.
Or why would someone pay like $10 million for a Fabergé egg? Why would they do that? Until I became older and I understood, like, okay, that is going to go up in value. That $40 million painting, hold on to, like an Andy Warhol painting, you hold on to it about 10 years. Go ahead.
That Basquiat.
Basquiat, you hold on to that about 10 years. It has a potential to go up 7-8%. Real estate, the same thing. You hold on it appreciates in value. And thus that brings your wealth up. So using that concept, that's why we talk about Karatbars. See, Karatbars is a wealth system. It really is a wealth system, and so the product is gold. The product is a gold, 99.9% gold, pure gold, the same the countries use to settle in debt. There are different tiers of gold, just to let you know. A 24 carat is not as deep as like 99.9% pure. There are different grades and different prices. You have a spot price, you have a preferred price. With the gold change, Karatbar deals with the preferred. priced on the London Bullion Exchange, certified. You have the ability to operate in 146 countries around the world by way of a cell phone or computer. You have the ability to create a residual income that comes in day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, provided you do the work, provided you do the work, provided you do the work, provided you do the work. You have to build it.
I think
You provided you do the work.
There you go.
And then you have the ability to instantly have a home-based business that can also help you greatly minimize your tax burdens, which is a fancy way for saying allowing you to take more money home and keep in your pocket. I think each and every one of you could spend your money a whole lot better than the government can.
Right.
I just think it's not right to pay more of your share in taxes. I don't see no benefit to that at all. And then finally, you have a component in a generational component that allows you to leave your wealth and your growing business that you created through Karatbars. You can leave to your children. In other words, right now, Dynas, he's not really working for himself. He's working for a 6-year-old son. His 6-year-old son will inherit his father's business, not unless he decides to have more children. Dynas' child right now can inherit his father's business, so he can already have a booming, thriving business that is producing a major income. If I say major income, it all depends on what Dynas decides they want us to be, what he decides they want it to be. And so when in the event that something happens to his father, he's called to the afterlife. His son is automatically, that transfers over to him, and guess what? He can keep building. He can transfer it to his son.
Right.
That's what we call financial legacy. The Bible that I hear to said a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. That's talking at least about 2 generations. So if you don't have a wealth plan that involves 2 generations, you are totally doing it wrong. But if you don't have a way to create income for that wealth plan, you can't fulfill that. And so that's what we do. And the response has absolutely been incredible. And a lot of people get on here and say stuff like that.
If I can interject, guys. So make sure link is in the chat room. My affiliate link is in the chat room. Click on my affiliate link. Sign up as an affiliate. Also, link is on the screen. It's in the description. And yes, I will personally call you, and me and Fitzgerald Stephens will get you guys to run in. Also, too, if you look at the thumbnail, Sales Motivation 101, Get Off Your Ass and Cold Call. That is my sales book that I wrote myself, that I penned myself. It's on Amazon.com. Go support and buy the book. Again, it's on Amazon.com. Go support and buy the book. I get straight to the point. Also, in regards to sales, why you need sales, how you're involved in sales every day in life. Because a lot of people, when they come to Karatbars, they say, I'm not a salesperson. I'm like, you're always selling. You just don't know it. So please go and support that book. And let's see here. We have a question in the chat room. Greetings, Dynas. How will the card convert to actual precious metal? It's actually the other way around. We're converting our fiat dollar into precious metal. So hopefully that answered your question. We're not converting the card to precious metal. Now, on the card that you can acquire by using your fiat currency, there's
that right there in the center.
Uh-huh.
If I could focus on that against the light, but that is a gram of gold right in the center there. That is the precious metal.
Right.
That is the precious metal. So much so precious. So when I got in 2015, this stuff was the January 14, 2015, when I started my Karatbars business, my business. Oh gosh, gold was somewhere in the neighborhood of like $1,160, maybe $70 that per an ounce, just for me holding it, this stuff. Right now, April 25th, 2020, this same gold is like 1,730. So it's going up just like the scenario that I said when earlier. You're like with the $600 in cash or $600 for a kilo of gold. How much more the kilo of gold is worth? with the cash as opposed to the cash right now. So this is going to constantly keep going up in value, especially with the world global demand for us right now. People are looking for some way, like, hey, we got to figure out a way to store our wealth. We can't keep losing money like this. I mean, countries can easily go broke. I don't care how rich they call themselves or what they think they are. Venezuela is undergoing that same problem right now. Their currency, is been greatly devalued, even though they're one of the wealthiest nations and around in South America. Venezuela is an OPEC nation, oil petroleum exporting country, but that's kind of a problem right now. If oil is going down close to like $1 a barrel and oil futures are trading negative, so you get a lot of your revenue far as from there, you are very, very much were hurting. And that's exactly what happened to them back a couple of years ago. Most of their economy was oil based, and it wasn't really diversified like it should have been. And it's a scenario that I often talk about this, that you just have one source of income, or you're dependent on one thing, and something happens to that thing, you lose that income through sometimes the fault of your own, or sometimes the no fault of your own, i.e. like a little virus, or someone size you're expendable, or someone size you're making too much and you don't have the other streams of income. Your household is devastated, and there's no way around that. There's no way around that. I don't hear many people talking to me now about a good job. I don't hear many people talking to me now saying I'm straight and I'm all right. I don't hear many. But when Dynas and I first started talking about this in June, it's plenty of them telling us how they were doing.
Right.
And we let you go. I mean,
and real quick, I pretty much showed you the same thing when you first. I signed up with you when you first presented it to me, but in my mind, because guys, I signed up with Karatbars, was it 2015 or 16? For sure, 16.
Nah, man, you was in 2015. Dynas, you was one of the first guys I called. I mean, I believe that I want to say that was let's give it take it was 2015 2015. Definitely it's 2016, but nevertheless, it's been a long time. No, it's 2015. It's 2015 that you came in.
2015, my brother Fitzgerald Stephens presents Karatbars to me. I bought a bronze package just off the strength of supporting Fitzgerald because he's my brother. I sat on the opportunity for 4 years, didn't do anything because I was straight, dog. I got a good job with Centos. I'm making good money. They upped my vacation from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So I'm good. I got the extra week of vacation. I'm making good money. I'm straight. Come, I guess that was probably like November of 2017. I get an email when I'm in Fitzgerald's favorite country, Cote Ivory. Cote d'Ivoire, affectionately known as Cote d'Ivory. I get an email from my manager. Hey, we just had this acquisition. We just acquired G&K, one of our largest competitors. We were all cheering for when it happened. We were all cheering for it. We're like, yeah. We were just so happy that Centos acquired G&K, the employees. Now, that acquisition didn't benefit the sales rep. It benefit the upline as far as in the C-suite and elsewhere. Because you have to think about it. When we acquired G&K, number one, we let go a ton of G&K employees because we just didn't have any room for them. And then when it came to sales reps like me, I'm in Cote d'Ivory, and I get an email saying, hey, buddy, Dynas, man, hey, man, you're knocking it at the park, buddy, but hey, when you come back, we got to talk. We just oh, but these are your new zip codes now. And I'm looking, I'm in Cote d'Ivory, enjoying myself, and my zip code's cut in half. So then I'm like, okay, I got to do something. But I still sat on Karatbars, not knowing the opportunity I had in front of me for like another 2 years.
Wait a minute. If they cut your zip codes in half, so what? You still made good money, right? You had other zip codes.
No, zip codes equals customers. So they took away half of my customer base.
Surely they gave you the best zip codes.
Listen, Fitzgerald, they took away the best zip codes. That me with the junk.
They didn't ask your permission?
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course not. You think I got invited to the executive meeting with the CEO or CFO and all the
But you
time.
was in the president's club. You was one of the top producers in the country. Why would they make a man like you angry?
I'm expendable.
You're expendable.
Yeah, expendable in corporate America.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so lost half of my zip code. So, and the problem was the zip codes I lost were the zip codes in Atlanta that were actually growing, and there was a ton of development going on. I lost it. Got left with the junk. Riverdale, Griffin, um, that those areas. If you're familiar with Atlanta, that's what I got left with.
Do they send you residuals for those visits that you got in those great zip codes?
Of course not.
They send you residuals now. I mean, you brought the accounts. You get it done now.
No.
Okay. People on this stream. Some people who haven't heard us do this before, they're like, "What the heck are we talking about?" Life. Listen, there's been plenty of times that you highly intelligent people listen to me on the stream and listen to Dynas. You have made your employers quite wealthy off of your efforts. You have bought in sales. You have been the result of keeping sales. You have been the result, and understand sales is what pays your paycheck. You have bought in revenue onto revenue and revenue. You have saved stuff that sometimes your company has really screwed up by their lack of attentiveness or taking care of their customers. Some of you have left for other opportunities, but notice this: the accounts that you produce, they're with the companies they're with those same companies right now. Question: do they send you a dime? Do they send you even a thank you call? Do they say, hey, here's a piece of that income that you brought in for us, so we're gonna bring this, we're gonna give you to say, oh, Fitzgerald, no, of course not. That's ridiculous. Is it? Do you know that when you enter to certain streams that I call royalties, residuals, or dividends, your family can get paid for it, even though you dead and gone. The Marvin Gaye estate still getting paid for songs he do.
Right.
The Whitney Houston state still getting paid for songs she does. Prince, Roger Nelson's, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Johnny Cash, and many other people are still getting paid for work they do. Elvis is still making money right now. I think he's on the list of the top highest paid dead celebrities because and Lisa Marie, his daughter, she's still getting off what her daddy get because he has something called royalties. He has something that pays him for his work. That song he made back in the 50s or the 60s, he's still benefiting from it. You can do the exact same thing, but I promise you, if you don't create royalties, residuals, or dividends, and you don't figure out how to create an income stream while you sleep, you will literally work until you die. You will literally work until you die. You will give your labor away to someone who is not going to pay you, will pay you just a fraction what you earn for them. I know for a fact. For a fact, Dynas bought in a huge coffee account over in Los Angeles. He also dealt with Hank Aaron Motors. Hank Aaron, the baseball king, home run king. Hank Aaron's huge influence down there in Atlanta. I know for a fact that when Dynas is working on those accounts, one in particular with the coffee thing, that company is still there, even though he's not. That company is still on the books for that other company. They don't send him a dime. Probably gave him about maybe a $6,000 one-time check. Man, they are sitting up there laughing at that because the money they gave and what they're reaping off of that, And so you gotta learn how to create a system where you reap out. You gotta learn how to do like the money changers do. You gotta figure out, how do I create a wealth system that's going to come in my home? Listen, you're already doing our business right now. The trick of the matter is you're just doing it for someone else. You're just doing it for someone else. See, when people say, well, I can't do what you guys do, I can't say, well, you already doing it for someone else. You already doing it, well, I'm not selling. You better believe you're selling. You better believe it. If you think you're going to be in that man's chair and work for that man or woman, and you might bring more value back than what they're paying you, you're going to be gone. You certainly won't work for me like that. I can promise you that I'm not gonna. I can't pay you. If you're not bringing me value back. What about me? And I'm not talking about dollar for dollar. If I'm paying you $70,000, oh man, you better be bringing me close to $700,000 back. You know, that's the way it works. And so after you get that, after you do that, and I decide to fire you, or you decide to retire, fine. Everything you built for me is going to go in me and my family's pocket, and and I'm still going to get paid on it. You're going to try to figure out how you're going to eat, or how you're going to take a vacation or afford medicine. And this is the hard thing of it. We see right now that the world has changed. Practically in the last 2 months, the world has been turned upside its head because of a little bitty virus, that started on the other side of the world. And because of that, it's taken a lot of people's lives, unfortunately. But more importantly, that is the most important. There is nothing more important than life. But in addition, it's also taken people's livelihoods. What do you mean? People can't work. You got to see this crazy amount of hairstyle I got going on my head. Normally, I would be all nice and trimmed up. Normally, I would be all nice and trimmed and everything. You can't go get a haircut, pretty much. No, because I don't know. Huh?
You can't in Atlanta since yesterday.
Yeah, man. Good luck for that. You better not let me see you better learn that. You gotta get massive cut your hair. You better not be going up in there as far as what you just came off of. If you can't work and you can't get an income, question: how long will you be able to survive? I'm talking to those of you guys who have savings. A lot of people are not in your shoes. How long are you going to be able to survive? You don't know when this is gonna, how long this thing is going to hold on or go on. Dynass, once again, I looked at my USA account this morning. My stimulus check was not there. Stimulus check was not there. Good thing I have my Karatbar business, where I was getting paid yesterday and doing what I have to do. And so I found a way to create another income, ladies and gentlemen. And I told Dynass the system of how we do it. And then I shared this to other people. And when I started off with Karatbars, I was at zero. I just joined on a link with what my friend Michael Delco sent me. Michael Delco and I've been knowing each other going on 20 years. Michael Delco called me about 7:30, January 14th. I was in Buffalo, New York. It's about 17 degrees that night. And he said, Fitzgerald, hey, how you doing, Michael? Good to hear from you. Listen, man, I got a business. It deals with gold. It's free to join. Really? Sign me up. I didn't do what I'm doing with y'all because I wanted a business. Actually, Michael didn't really think I was looking at the moment. It didn't take me long to answer him, and I went to work, ladies and gentlemen. I started, I got one of my business package. I started saving in gold. I started plugging into the wealth building system, learning how to grow wealth, how to build a system. The training was free. It was done on Facebook and goldrocks.info online. So I started plugging in. I started getting an education on how to do it. And I started telling other like Dynass, hey, listen, man. Fitzgerald, how you doing? Hey, listen, brother, we don't need to talk about Alabama, Georgia. Alabama going to beat y'all anyway. But here's what.
Let me interject. You notice we don't talk that much about that anymore.
No, because neither Nick Sabans nor Kirby Smart put money in our pockets.
Right.
Why in the world would we promote something for them and that's not benefit us? And so Karatbars does benefit us, and so it don't make sense. The older you get, or the wiser you get, because wisdom often doesn't have nothing to do with age. When you start understanding concepts, you start understanding you're going to put your time in. You understand to make it work for you, and instead of keep making it work for someone else. Okay, so I said, Dynass, man, listen, dude, I got something here. Fitzgerald, what it is? Hey, man, it deals with gold. You know what, man? You need to join it. It's free to join. I literally had to talk a man I've been knowing almost 15 years. I literally had to talk him into it. Right. It was baffling to me. It was baffling. He didn't jump like I did. I had to go to him time after time after time after time. So finally something happened. I said something that got through. Why? What was the block? What was the disconnect? He was making six figures.
Right.
Okay. What was the disconnect? He had money to do what he wanted. He was riding around in his Porsche, with the wind blowing through his hair. He was straight. Business was good. He could walk in, he could stumble into accounts and they would say yes to him. He was on a thing, so he had what he thought was a good job until he got that call in Africa. Okay. until he got that call. And so that the rugs was snatched out from under, and he's like, oh my God, I done built this lifestyle up that I need a certain amount of income to do it. And or people who think, well, I got this great career and I'm straight. I'm going to stay here and because until I can't no more. Like Michael Delco taught me, you may love your job, but your job may not love you. You know what happens if you start getting sick, or you have health crisis? What happens if a child of yours gets sick? What happens if you go through a separation or a divorce? What happens? And now how are you going to make up for that income? How are you going to make up for what you lost? Simple. You got to have another stream coming in, and the wise people, we put things together before there's calamity. So going back, I got a business package. I called Dynas and a couple other people, and I took a lot of no's, but I wasn't really concerned about them. I took the yes. And so fast forward right now. Oh gosh, I got a little business. It's not zero now.
Right.
It's a few people in there around the world. Just a few, several thousand, somewhere along the line, 11,000. Right. I only said something to 125 people. Only person registered 125 people when they came in, because they wanted their own business, not one for me. So question, if I registered 125, subtract 125 from 11,000. Okay, I didn't bring those other people in. That ain't nothing for me to brag about. Michael Delco, my sponsor, he registered about 500 people. Dynas is about 515. Michael has a business well over 90,000 people right now. Lives a very, very debt-free, extraordinary wealthy lifestyle. When I say wealthy, I'm not talking about he's driving Maseratis and all that kind of stuff, or he's on the French Riviera, but he could be. He can be, and you can be, and you can be too. He walked away from a mortgage banking job about in 103 days from doing this. Now, what am I saying? Let's get to the beat of it. Karatbars, how do I get a part? Okay, Fitzgerald, I'm hearing what you're walking road, man. Stop talking, get to the business. Okay, here's business. That link that you see on Dynas' mirror screen. You're gonna register your free gold affiliate account. You're gonna register that link, put it in your email address while we're talking right now, and then it's going to take you about 7 minutes, and it's going to be free to join. Okay, and then once you do that, you're going to say you are successfully registered. Karatbars is going to send you an email, and then when you get that email, you're going to click on that email to verify your account. Number two, what's going to happen? You're going to get a call from Prince Dynas Amir. He's going to help you. He's going to welcome you. He's going to help you order a business package, and help define your goal statement. If necessary, he can help you with the KYCs, but we can do that later. Then he's going to turn you over to me. Fitzgerald Stephens. My phone number is going to ring my personal phone number, 716-573-6296, 716-573-6296. Then I'm going to do what's called a goal statement. I'm going to wonder why you're doing this. I'm going to, and when I say a goal statement, what are you doing this for? What are the amount of money you want to make? How much you want to make? Just be saying I want to make money, I want to be rich. That's not good enough. You're going to quit. You're not going to do anything because you don't have clear goals of what you're trying to do. Here's a clear goal. I got $30,000 in student loan debts I want to get paid, or I want to bring my wife or husband home full time, or I want to be able to raise my own children instead of paying all the money I'm paying for daycare. So I want to be a stay-home mom, or I want to get a better home and stuff. Those are good goals. Then when do you want it? Okay. And so my job is that once you say that to me, my job is to help you put a plan in motion, and we work together to help you achieve that. We have many affiliates in this, who have replaced their income, some as little 2 or 3 years. We have affiliates, who are making six figures a month. We have figures, people who are making five figures a month. We have figures who are making zero a month. It's based on your efforts, your collective efforts. So every time someone, someone comes a part of your network, you had the propensity to duplicate your efforts and get compensated for that. Now, I'm not going to really go into the package amount this time. I'm going to really stress about the system. When you call Dynas and I will personally go over that, but in the interest of time, I'm going to stress about the system. Now, what do I mean by system? Two things that cause a business to fail, a business or a business owner to fail, to lose their capital. And two things, the primary two things are this. Number one, you don't have enough capital reserves to wait you out until the business grows. You don't. Because it is a reason why they say have at least 5 to 7 years of expenses saved up, in your business, because you may have to wait that long to see a profit. You can see a profit the same day. And with Karatbars, you get your business based on how you present and how you promote it, and you get people to really team up with you. Okay. And number two, which is probably more important than number one, you don't have a system that shows you how to maneuver. So you can't get out there in business and just do things trial and error. You have to know your markets. You have to know you have to know your margins. No, in business, no margins, no mission. There's a certain amount of money you have to make. You have to have some a proven system that you follow that system, you're going to basically achieve success. That's what makes franchises so very successful, because they have a system. It's not only that you're getting a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, you're getting a system, a proven system that is once you follow it, that knows how to build wealth. Well, that's why wealth builders exist. Tyrone Best, he's been in referral-based marketing for since the early 90s. Ladies and gentlemen, that name was free for 25 years before he even heard of Karatbars, but totally free. I mean, his son, who was like in his 30s, he's never even applied for a job. Okay, and so when he brought that expertise over here into Karatbars, and by way of a system with we'll call Wealth Builders Worldwide, and Wealth Builders Worldwide is just what it says. It builds wealth builders worldwide. It's a teaching system. It shows you exactly how to build your Karatbar business, how to build a profitable business. It has a map, the massive action plans with step by steps to show you how to succeed. The stuff you hearing me talk, that's just the map. When it really gets down to it, you got like, man, what did he say? He said a lot of stuff. Everything I pretty much says, beside a lot of my personal stories and far as and a lot of other things was happening in the economy right now. It's pretty much on wealthbuildersworldwide.info. You can click on a map. It is going to show you exactly how to build and exactly how to maintain a profitable business and build a global business. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been to one foreign country in my life. I'm not as extensive travel as Dynas Amir yet, but I will be. I've been to one country, and that's Canada. And I know Canada very well. I spent a lot of time up there. But I also, but through my Karatbar business, I also have business partners in Zurich, Switzerland, the UK, South Africa, Nigeria, Trinidad, Uganda, Australia, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and some couple other places I'm leaving off my head. Why? All I do is pick up the phone or go on to Facebook and say, hey, you look for any other ways to make money? They say, yes. Okay, send me my link, therealmoney.info. Say, hey, let's go ahead and get you started, and plug them in, and boom, every time they buy gold, they get a package, or they build their group by bringing other people in and stuff like that. It helps my income. So I had the potential to get to share in 11,000 other people work and effort in addition to my own. That's why one of the reasons why you want residual income. But you know, we understand, and I have to say this disclaimer: we know this is not for everyone. But now that in lieu of what we're going through right now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, once again, we don't have many people talking to us right now because they know they got to do something. They know standing still is not the option. Create a business that you can do for free. Incidentally, that deals with gold. Incidentally, the teaching system is part of it. The main part of why Dynas and my team is exploding with people plugging into the team. Dynas Amir, he and I take a personal hand-on approach with everybody who comes in business with us.
A lot of people don't.
That's one thing that separates us from a lot of other Karatbar affiliates. I mean, we're not responsible for your success. Let that be said. You are. You're not going to do the work for you. You are. But I promise you, we are very attainable, and we're going to pour into you. We're going to hold your hand and guide you. And especially you're out there working, we're going to guide you and show you how to be successful. We're going to fight right with you. Well, why would you do that? Simple, because your success is our success. So we have a vested interest to see our partners succeed. We're, if necessary, we can do the YouTube videos on your channel. We can do all that. We do it.
Right.
Especially me. I'm a little bit more free with that than Dynas. Dynas already has a team search for euros of 70,000 sponsors. He can't do that. Not like me, but I can. And so I asked again, what are you going to do? If Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die.
Right.
If you're going to continue to keep working for money, you ain't going to have any. Money must work for you. Fitzgerald Stephens said, if you don't make moves are going to be made on you. And we see this. We see what's going on. Pretty soon they're going to say, okay, I think we got this under control. And I hope to God they do. I really hope it does. We got everything under control. Y'all can go to work. All those mortgage payments, those student loan payments, and the car loans and all that stuff you've been deferring because of this virus, they're going to say, okay, you're back at work right now. We done gave you 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. When you going to get our paper to us? What do you mean? Oh, you owe us. You didn't think that disappeared? Well, I'll see what I can do for the month. Oh no, you owe us for those other months too.
Yeah.
You owe us for the other months too. What are you going to do when there's no more $1,200, check coming in? Or even with Canada, they're giving out like $2,000 of something like every week, stuff like that. They can do that. They're 1/10 the population of the United States. They don't have 50 million people where we have close to 340 million. So of course they can do that. But what are you going to do when that stops? What are you going to do when someone say, well, man, we took a hit here in the company. We're going to have everyone to sacrifice. So we're doing a 10 to 15% pay cut all across the board. Dynas, am I exaggerating?
No.
We're going to try to stay afloat. It's either 10 or 15% pay cut, or we're going to have to let some people go. If you can't do that, you're not part of the team.
Fitzgerald was crazy. When it comes to sacrificing, that we're a team, we're a family. Oh, they'll throw that at you real quick. But then what is in their best interest? Hey man, sorry dog. It's just
yeah. They ain't gonna say, but you're gonna say, but you don't have the luxury because they ain't gonna let you, because if you say something like I would, but wait a minute, didn't you guys get a certain amount of stimulus money? Oh, you're being insubordinate.
Yeah.
See, that's why a cat like me can't work for dudes. That's why it's dang there. I'm an entrepreneur. For the most part, I got to be free, because a lot of stuff don't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that someone can control my life with this. They could tell me what neighborhood I live in. They could tell me if I have a children or how many I could have. If I have a large family, have no family. They could tell me if I got proper health care. They could tell me if I can go see my aging parents up in Alabama, or how long can I stay. Or they could tell me what I need to do to jump through a hoop and get this promotion. Or they could tell me if I'm going to get 50 cents on the next quarter raise. I don't deal with that very well. So and a lot of people I hang out with, they don't do neither. Even though you work in a job, that's great, that's fine, that's honorable, it's good work. I'm not knocking a job, I'm knocking the concept. The concept that I'm knocking is, don't spend all your life energy making someone else's system of wealth wealthier, making some other's family. Spend a part of that energy creating something for you and your family so you can become wealthy. That's all I'm saying. So on that note, we're pretty much well gone out of here. You guys may wonder, well, why they say the same thing? Why they keep saying the same thing? Man, the demand is so great. People are hurting out there. We believe we have not the solution. We believe we have a solution. People are calling us and contacting us all over. Now, what type of people? Professional people. I mean, professional. These are not just running the mill people. These are hardworking men and women out there. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, professional people, models, actors, actresses. So these are people like, whoa, I need to do something. I need to figure out a way to really do something, because everything is pretty much collapsing. And people who thought they had a good job, man, I'm getting this, Fitzgerald, exactly what you said. Is happening, and I just need to put something together. You know what? There's a book I'm going to recommend to you guys. I like doing little titles. This is called Wave 3. Wave 3. It said the new era of network marketing. This book is ahead of its time. Say it's by Richard Pope. Actually, Bill Gates. Now, say what you want about the man, but he's proven to be quite an astute businessman. But the Wave 3 by Richard Pope says a new era of network marketing. What net marketing is, why it's hotter than ever, and you can ride the way to financial freedom. Get this book. And read this book and see a lot of concepts that I'm talking about right now don't make sense to you. Bill Gates, Diane, said that if he had to start all over again, he would start in network and referral based marketing.
Wow,
that's what Bill Gates said. Robert Kiyosaki, he also endorses this platform, not necessarily Karatbars platform, the platform of network marketing. Although Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, is a huge advocate of saving in gold, okay, because he calls this stuff fake money, which he's absolutely right, because you got to have a way to leverage your time and your income. And so this is what we allow you. This is what Karatbars will allow you to do. Get back, take action, man. I hope some of you guys or some of you gentlemen and ladies actually heard what I said, and I hope I'm talking to like a Fafu Malau out there who took actions months ago before we even finished, and because of that action, she registered a free account. She has a booming global team now. All she did was register. I talked to a person yesterday up in Philadelphia. She took action. I never knew. Didn't get a business packet, but nevertheless, she still have several hundred people in the organization. You see the way this thing is growing on a tune of 20,000 people a month. And I really believe, Diane, some of the largest income earners that's going to come into Karatbars have not even gotten in yet. Right. I truly believe it. What if they come in your team? What if you bring them in? Let me tell you how powerful that is. You would talk to that man right now, Diane Samir. That one man, you would have had close to 2,000 affiliates in your account and your business. Right. One man. You would talk to this man, with the little funny sounding accent, the Southern Alabama accent. You would have had 11,000. You would have had 11,000 people in your group. That's why when I say stuff like Coke the Ivory, Namby, I'm not playing. That's just my accent. That's the way I talk. Of course, I ain't in the business of explaining much to anybody anymore at my age. So as long as you understand that, that's cool. If not, well, we can depart as friends. And so that's why you would have talked to me, 11,000 people. You would have made one phone call to Michael Delco like Nate Hines did. You would have had 90,000 affiliates in your organization. You would have made that call to the Ty Best, the creator of Wealth Builders. You would have over 100,000 affiliates in your organization. One person. You would have called up Tammy Morrison. You would have had something like 600,000 affiliates in your organization. And you would have called Shirley Gober, you would have had 80,000. One individual. And you never know who you're talking to. So therefore that eliminates the thing, Dynas. Man, this ain't for me. Okay, if it ain't for you, maybe it's for someone who you know. And maybe by you sharing like that, that person can make you wealthy. You find the right two people, and you find the right two people, a person on your left side and your right side, you'll never worry about money again. I'm looking for the Dynas Samir. Dynas Samir is like 1 in a million. I actually gave him to my wife because I was trying to build her team. When we were together, I said, hey, I'm going to build something up because our personalities are different. And I gave him, and he's done put, oh God, in her team. But no problem. She got paid Friday too. She got paid Friday too. Haven't seen her in a while. Wish you well. But she got paid. Michael got paid and everything else like that. But forget about us. This thing is all summed up. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to making excuses? Are you going to continue to try to investigate? Are you going to continue to let life pass you by, an opportunity pass you by? Are you thinking your ship going to go in, or are you going to take action? Go ahead and put yourself in a position where literally every Friday, like Dynas and I, you can get paid in euros on that card right there. You can accumulate gold, and you can turn the trajectory of your financial future around for you and your families. Now, here's some stunning statistics. And Dynas said, black business is not hardly getting a lot of stimulus money. I say that a lot of small business, no matter what color, is not getting the stimulus money. But I will say this: we mostly talk to the melanated people, black wealth, far as in this country, is projected somewhere along the line, but like 2050. 2050, the black wealth in this country, the same black wealth that is responsible like for $5 trillion.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you for correcting me on that, Dynas. That it's going to be practically worth zero.
Right.
Zero. That's a problem. It's a little wonder the neighborhoods are ran down like they are. It's a little wonder the legal system and the medical system is so disadvantaged for us. The injustice system, it's so the hunt system, the prison complex industry hunts us. It's a little wonder we don't have any resources to defend ourselves. My heart goes out from when I hear about Africa. Everybody come in there, explore them. Everybody take from them except themselves. And I come to the conclusion based on what I'm seeing now, especially with this latest debacle, with what's happening with the Chinese and who are taking the playbook out the old European powers and going down and divide and conquer, starting coups and everything. I come to realize it's not the African people. It's their leadership. Africa needs a Patrice Lumumba to arise. They need a Thomas Shakir to arise. They need a Muammar Gaddafi to arise. And see, people say, well, when that happens, they kill them. Well, start fighting back. Start fighting back. You don't come in there and let someone destroy your leaders without having consequences to them. But that's another thing. And you don't let someone destroy your household, without having confidence. Then you don't let a job or an industry destroy your economic power without having consequence. Then what's the consequence? You take your wealth away from them. Instead of your wealth using to build your enemy's platform or build, other people's platform who don't have your interest, you use your wealth to build your personal. If you can't find anyone to do it, you say, well, we need to come together. Before the we need to come together, me needs to come together. And then I'll find a we. Dynas will be one of my we. I'll find like-minded people. DeMarco, he'll be one of my we.
Right.
Marcus Brown, he'll be one of my we. Denise Graham, that's one of my we.
Sister Yah,
that's one of my we. I look for like-minded people. The Marquise, that's one of my we. Takaya, that's one of my we. Man, I ain't interested in working with everybody. I don't want to work with everybody. I work with people in like interests and like-minded. We need to come together. Who are the we? I need like-minded people. And the like-minded people I'm talking to on this stream, Dynas and I are looking for business partners who want to build their wealth, not ours. Who want to build something that for their children, their family's future, not ours. Our goal is going to show you how to do it because helping you helps us. Those are the we're looking for. I don't care if you're 18 or 80. I don't care if you've been fired for 5 jobs in 5 days. I don't care if you had a criminal record or you got a choir board sheet. I don't care. I don't care if you dropped your 6th grade dropout or you hold a PhD. And Dynas don't neither. We are looking for people who saying, you know what? I want to be free. I want to be free from this current system of debt. I want to be off the plantation. I want to be able to control my own life, do what I want with my own time, live my life how I want, spend time with my wife and my husband, our children, how I want, when I want, where I want, as long as I want. I want to be able to control my own destiny instead of reporting to someone and helping them control it. If that's you, go ahead and register on that link. Yeah. Go ahead and register on that link. And I hear somebody out there in the crowd like, dang, man, that guy's a salesman. Dude, man, woman, I'm not selling. This stuff sells itself. You already know what's going on in your house. This stuff selling. I'm not a salesperson. This stuff sells itself. If you are, oh man, like I said, Dynas is more politically correct than me.
No, go ahead.
And my youngest brother would get on me like that, so I'll just have to. If you are more worried about what someone else thinks, than what your children think and what those who love you and who you're trying to build, you ain't worthy of wealth. Actually, you ain't saying this guy's a salesman. What you're saying, Fitzgerald, I'm too tired. I'm too scared to step out on what you're saying. Let's call it what it is. I'm too scared to step out. I know you're right, but I'm too scared to step out on my own. I want to be comfortable. I want a security, knowing there's no such thing except what you build. And so why, and to make it sound cool, you'll tell yourself or tell somebody next door, man, he's a salesman, as opposed to telling the truth. I'm just scared to do what he said. I know I need to do something, but I'm just scared. So I got to say something to make me sound like I'm semi-intelligent. You're not. Your house is burning down. Understand that. We just gave you one pail of water. It's up to you to figure out what you want to do. Not ask, you know what, man? Hey, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but at my age, right now, you want cats like me in your life. We're the truth tellers.
Right.
You want cat. If I sit up there and lie, give you a comfortable lie, I could probably be your friend, but I'm going to hurt you in the long run. But if I give you an uncomfortable truth, you're going to respect me in the long run. And I can lay my head with you like, okay, well, Fitzgerald, you were right. I'm not going to come to you. Yeah, I know. I'm going to say, hey, let's get to work. And so this is what we're saying. That's you. Join us. We're looking for a certain person, a certain individual, not looking for everyone. Everyone won't do this. Not everybody be able to cross the Jordan. You don't need everybody. We're looking for builders. We're looking for like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and get our household in order. Let's go. Then once we get our household, once the house of Amir is in household, once the house of Sister Yaz is in order, once the house of Takai Israel is in order, once the house of Denise Stevens is in order, once the house of DeMarco Murr Ryans is in order, once the house of Marcus Washington get in order, now, and once the house of Edward Green is in order, then and hundreds of more people that we have helped, then we could say, you know what? Let's pull some of our resources together because we have something now, and let's build something bigger. Broke people can't help broke people. The vision can't come together without resources. So that's my long-term plan, and that's Prince Amir's long-term plan. And we thank you guys. We'll come on right now, but it's doable. This thing. Oh God, man, this the simplest thing I've done. You mean tell me I just say go, tell a lot of people, make a lot of money? You mean tell me that's what I do? You mean to tell me I can go and take this and I can run a global business all over the world, not never leave my living room? Yeah, that's what I'm telling. You mean tell me I can get up off the floor, throw some water on my head, put a little grease in there, and you don't act like it? I'm at work.
Are we rolling tomorrow?
Dang right we are. So that's all it is. Forget about the emotion. I talk real life things. because I know what's going on. Practically everything I said to you guys, I've lived. And but you know what? Nothing changed that I changed. Nothing changed until I change, and nothing won't change till you change. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a blessing. You know what? I have so much respect for each and every one of you, even for those who don't agree with me. You're a human being. You deserve dignity. You deserve to be financial and time free. I respect you because you're created in the image of God. You know, I don't necessarily have to agree with everything you say. You certainly don't have to agree with everything I say. But I want you guys to be free. I want you to live your dreams. I want you to be proud of the life you created for your next generation. Time goes by so fast, and it's up to you to do something with it for your benefit. Dinas, I'm going to get out of here, man. I thank God for you. You call me and let me know when the next stream is on, and
Tomorrow 1 o'clock.
yeah, okay, great. And then we still got to talk about my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get that launched up and everything. So give me a call on that when you can.
I will. I will today.
All right. Thank you, good people.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you go to click on the affiliate link in the chat room. Sign up as an affiliate. Link is also on the screen. Will also be in the description. Also, make sure you go to dynastamir.com, dynastamir.com. But your next time, family, Dynasty Amir, search for Huru. Peace.